Tuesday, and we're talking about SMS marketing. How's everything on your side, Jennifer?
Hey, it is good. Everything is good.
Awesome. We're talking about SMS marketing. So I know Go High Level and all the platforms out there are big on SMS marketing, text marketing, whatever you want to call it. I see it's even in MailChimp now. Like MailChimp has SMS marketing integrated. But wanted to talk about a couple of the strategies and things that people are doing to be successful when it comes to text marketing. Now, a lot of people are getting it wrong. But what have been your experiences of some people that really get it right when it comes to text messaging?
Yeah, so I think knowing your audience is just the key with everything, right? And so you can overwhelm your audience with text, or you can give them just the right amount of text, right? So I think about, for instance, I shop at Torrid, and once I opted in to their text messaging, um now they're sending me messages every day, right? Those shopping messages always get you, right? Because it seems to be at the right time. Another person, another business who we all should know is Gary V, right?
Yeah,
Gary V has that cadence down right. It's not too much where it's overwhelming, but when he does send you messaging, it's valuable. And sometimes it hits you like right when you need it. And you're like, oh my goodness, I really needed to hear this today. So even if it's just sending inspirational quotes to help you with your day, he knows his audience. And so
gotcha.
he knows that sending those quotes are good. So if he does send me something to say, hey, I have this sale going on, or I have this new community, or I have this new thing, I'm now not offended because I've been receiving value from you through text messaging.
So those are two good points, and I want to make sure we take note of the people that are doing it right. So you say Gary V, really good with the text messaging campaigns. And what was the shopping example you gave?
The shopping example was Torrid, Torrid. It is a plus size woman store.
All right. All right. But it's always good to make sure you're paying attention to who's doing it right so you can start to copy those strategies. I think one of the things you kind of talked about when Gary V, um, when he knows his audience. And
Mhm,
that was one of the things that I was going to talk about was segmentation, specifically because text message is so personal. It's really based on where you are and when you're there, being able to segment your audience. So, say, for instance, if you've got an audience where part of them are in New York, like actually, I was working with a client where they were targeting different cities and giving different content to people in different cities so they
mhm,
could have a relevant call to action. So, that whole concept around segmentation is one that I would really want to keep in mind.
mhm,
But I know you're super good at, I think you're super good at Go High Level and the integration platform there. And
mhm,
you're always working with a lot of entrepreneurs that are doing text integration in their operations.
mhm.
Even though we're digital marketing network, I think it might be worthwhile to talk about your experience and how people are using it for for um, for operations, whether it be client management, all those sorts of things, customer care. What have you seen in the marketplace?
Right. So I could tell you what I've set up, and just off the bat, just different type of examples. So think about if someone needs support in your organization. If they can just text support and then you send them back the support form, that's much more valuable than going to look for, how do I find support? Where's support? Um, that's very valuable. Also, you mentioned segmenting. You could segment through text as well. So being able to have different campaigns for different types of audiences. So I'll give you a prime example. So I have systems, right? So if you text systems, to my number 470-517-7006, right? That is going to get your information, and then it's going to do two things. It's going to give you the option to attend my free training where I talk about how to use text and chat and automation in your business. And if you don't want that and you want to hop on a call, it's going to give you the option to hop on a call so that you could talk about how you can install it in your business, right? That's just one way. Well, if I wanted you to download the checklist, I'm going to say text checklist. But on the back end, those two lists are segmented now because the people who text systems saw something that I was talking about that led them to that. The people who texted checklist saw something that led them to checklist. Now on the back end, they're segmented to where they need to be. And this is just the prime example. I always talk about, if you look at how corporations now are using text, like Wendy's, for example. If you want to work at Wendy's, and not even just Wendy's, other it's, I don't know if Cookout is up there, but it's a place called Cookout here. They use text. Text hire to this number. And then I never texted it. I need to text it. But I'm sure, because I do this every day, it's going to text back information, or it's going to prompt you through some questions to send you through their hiring process. And so we just really, as business owners, have to take advantage and leverage where people are. They are using their mobile phone. And so that's what's easier. Let me just text this number.
I love that. Speaking of the number, so I want to capture that number. What was that number that they text systems to?
470-517-7006.
I love it. And so I really didn't even think about that when you're able to actually segment as part of the process of capturing data from your client. And that actually brings me to a second part of that same question, because I know on top of the automation systems, you're really familiar with the AI because you've been like training the voice of the AI. And that's actually one of the other notes that they had around tips and tricks for SMS messaging, is because it's so personal, the messaging is so specific to the time and place, but also the tone and personality. Because you talked about how Gary Vee knows his audience, speaks in a certain tone. And I know you've been training your AI voice to speak with that tone, and it uses that tone to carry on conversations across text channels, across social channels, all those things. But how have you seen it play out with the AI in the text messaging? How's that happen?
Yeah, so it's just how you have it set up. So you can set it up with just automation, and those are just predefined messages and a predefined task, right? If you want to add AI in there, so now you have them text, I still would have them capture the information. I don't want AI to use its own brain. I want their information first. Then I would say, okay, AI, you pick it up from here. And then you add the AI in, right? And so once you add the AI in, you can let it know. So like if I had AI on this system's number, then I would have it say, okay, the goal is to get them to register for the training. So
Gotcha.
your goal is to get them to register for the training. Here are the questions you can ask them. And as I'm watching that, I can go on the back end and say, okay, here's a question I didn't think about that someone asked. Here's how you answer it. So again, utilizing AI in your business is no different than having your assistant hitting you up on Slack all day. Somebody said this. How do I respond? Now that number one creates a bottleneck because the assistant has to wait for you. So just like I'm recording, if I had an assistant hitting me up in Slack saying, hey, someone sent this message, how do I respond? They have to wait till I'm done with this to respond, but the AI doesn't. It can just respond. And that's the difference in being able to utilize the SMS combined with AI in our businesses.
That's a good point. And I want to make sure people capture one thing that you mentioned was that you strategically use it in different places when you want your team to respond versus when you want the AI to respond. So, and I think I've heard that there's settings in the back end, like say, for instance, go high level, there's settings in the back end where they can set either whether or not it's the person or the AI, or if maybe there's a gap where it's like, oh, wait 5 minutes or wait 20 minutes and then the AI responds. So how do you set all those things up? What do you usually use?
So I use the conversation AI, but I really like Closebot for that. And the reason why is because with Closebot, number one, you can integrate it with high level, but you can turn it on or off. Right. So you can you can say, hey, in this conversation, or don't send chat messages to this person. Right. And so I really like Closebot for that. Closebot IO, I believe it is.
Okay.
Again, there's a fee for that service you have to pay to be
How
able
much
to,
is that?
I think $39 a month
Okay, that's not bad.
to use Closebot in that aspect. Or you can just continue with the conversation AI. Now, in the conversation AI in the back of high level, you could say, hey, after 5 iterations, stop.
Gotcha.
And then you can say, hey, don't respond for 30 seconds or whatever. So you can set it up like that.
Cool. Very cool. So I think there's a couple of big gems we gave people today. So I wanted to just kind of review. So we talked about a couple of good case studies for people to look at. The retail brand. What was that again? The retail brand? Torrid?
Torrid, Torrid.
And then we talked about Gary V, both which use SMS messaging effectively for their audience. We talked about using it in combination with automated strategies to be able to segment your audience, looking at different channels and different streams for different places where your leads come from. And then we talked about using it in combination with AI, really setting that tone, those goals. We had the Closebot example where you can integrate it with ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, with Go High Level. Yeah, so I think those are really good notes. Is there anything else we wanted to drop before we end?
Yeah, sure. So tomorrow, which is Thursday, July 25th, I will be hosting a training on how you can actually install these strategies into your business and just increase your sales, capture more sales, capture the missed opportunities that you don't even know you're missing. Just tightening up and helping businesses leverage the technologies that's available. So you can register for that by texting systems to 470-517-7006. Or you
Boom.
simply go to systemsactivate.com/register.
All
That's
right.
tomorrow at 2:00.
All right. That is awesome. That is awesome. Looking forward to checking it out. And then, so did you mention what time it is, or do they find out
It's
when
2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
boom, boom? All right. Everybody on the East Coast, be there or be square. And with that, have a happy Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Oh, before we leave, we've got a new. So I didn't have a chance to tell you about it, but I made an AI theme song. So actually, I made a couple. So we'll preview this one. This is the hip hop vibe version. We got some neo soul versions coming, but we'll test them out. Maybe we'll do a contest where people vote for the official theme song. but we'll drop this one at the end, and then tomorrow we'll drop another version, and maybe next week we'll figure out what we're going to do. But check it out.
Listen up now. Gotta tell you about a show, Digital Marketing Network, with a secret flow. We got the tips, yo, strategies to share. Learn the way to market, put your business up there. Tune in every day. Digital marketing, yeah, yeah, we know the way. Come learn and slay. Build your brand strong, make your money long. With the podcast groove, can't go wrong. From SEO to social, emails that entice. Grow your audience big, take our advice. Tune in every day. Digital marketing, yeah, yeah, we know the way. Come learn and slay. Listen up now. Gotta tell you about a show, Digital Marketing Network, with a secrets flow. We got the tips, yo, strategies to share. Learn the way to market, put your business up there. Tune in every day. Digital marketing, yeah, yeah, we know the way. Come learn and slay. Build your brand strong, make your money long. With the podcast groove, can't go